Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am planning and cooking up some healthy recipes for snacks for my 4 boys. I'm planning to make some, I call them superhero muffins, which are very fun. I'm also making some energy balls, and then I'm making some Larabar dupes. So come along with me, join me in my kitchen, and maybe get some inspiration for your own. All right, let's go. Spelt berries, rolled oats, nutmeg, baking soda, baking powder, and the recipe does call for cinnamon. I just don't have any, so I'm gonna leave it out. Salt. First, I'm gonna put in all of the dry ingredients, and then next I'm going to add the mix-ins. 4 cups, I'm using spelt, so freshly ground spelt. Might just do it actually, perfect. And we'll do 2 cups of oats, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna mix that all up. What I love about this recipe is it has lots of hidden veggies, some good apples, so there's lots of nutrients in it, which is a big win for me. First, I'm gonna shred the carrots into a really fine shred so they can incorporate really well in the batter. Yummy carrots to our dry batter now. Next, we'll need 2 Granny Smith apples. It gives it a nice tartness. I cut a little slit in it like that, and then I'll go ahead and just start grating it. And I like to use the bigger grates for the apples. These apples are all shredded, let's go ahead and add that to our dry ingredients. And these tart apples are so good in this. I love it. So I originally found this recipe. I have a cookbook called Run Fast, Eat Slow, and it's by an Olympic, I think she's a marathoner. I love the recipe so much. It just uses almond flour and coconut flour. So this is kind of based on that recipe, but for freshly milled spelt flour. And if you guys don't mill your grains, you can always use all-purpose flour, or you can even use coconut flour and almond flour, like the original recipe and Run Fast, Eat Slow has it. But I love the spelt flour. I think it just makes the flavor and the texture really good. And I also love that it doesn't break the bank. I know coconut flour and almond flour, it could just get a little bit pricey in bulk, and for my 4 boys it would just be too much sometimes to make it everything with coconut or almond flour, and this just stretches the budget a little bit more, and I think it tastes great. So if you guys want the full recipe written out, let me know. I can send it to you. Just leave a comment below, and I'd love to know if you tried the recipe and how that turned out, if you used freshly milled spelt flour, if you tried it with another type of grain or flour. I would love to know. I love it both ways. I love the almond flour and coconut flour in it too. I think that tastes amazing. But this is the season for grinding our own grains, which is fine. To the dry mixture, we're gonna add 1 cup of raisins. And sometimes I do chocolate chips instead of raisins. If I want it to be more of like a breakfast snack, or a little bit lower in sugar, then we'll do raisins instead of chocolate chips. 1 cup of coconut flakes. Whoopsies, a little much. And 1 cup of walnuts. And I am not gonna chop the walnuts. We'll just make it simple. Just throw them in. Now we're gonna mix it all up. These are the dry ingredients and then the add-ins. Wow, I'm gonna be needing some big bowls here soon because And let me know in the comments below if you guys cook for a big family. I'm like on the verge of needing like industrial size bowls with how many batches I cook. This is just double batch, but sometimes I cook quadruple batch and I am just overflowing with even my largest bowl. So if you guys have big families or you cook large batches, let me know down below if you have any recommendations for just some really big bowls, because I am in need of that. Need 6 eggs. Need 1 cup of honey, or you can also use maple syrup if you have that. We just have a little bit more honey right now than maple syrup. We'll need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And next you're gonna add 2/3 cup of butter or coconut oil. So I'm gonna use just butter this time just because I have more than coconut oil. Mix it all together. Another reason I love this recipe is it does have the hidden nutrients that are with the carrots and the apple. It has the good nutrients with the freshly milled grain. It's just an all-around easy breakfast. So if I just pull out the muffins, put a little bit of butter on them, just kind of call it a day and make it so easy. It kind of has everything in it. You know, if you add a little bit of butter to it, it balances blood sugars, it keeps them full longer. And so it is a win in my book. So I love making this one whenever I get the chance. Next, we're gonna add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And this is a thick batter, so you'll really need to use your muscle on this one. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any after school or after nap snacks that you feel confident in giving your kids. So I'm always looking for new recipes. If you guys have any tried or trues, let me know. I'm always looking for some new ones. I love these little silicone muffin liners. It's just easy to know I always have muffin liners, and the kids love picking their favorite colors for their muffin. So I love it. I like to pat these down just to make the muffin a little bit smoother on the top. I find that if I don't do this, then they kind of look a little wonky with different carrots kind of sticking out of them. But you don't have to do this part either. So you're gonna cook those muffins at 350 for about 22 to 25 minutes. Next, we're gonna make some energy balls or yummy balls, whatever you wanna call them. So let's go ahead and gather our ingredients and get started. Add a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. I'm using crunchy, but you can use smooth as well. I just remembered we were supposed to wait to add the peanut butter, so let me try to scrape it out and bear with me. We'll see if I can redeem this. To the dry ingredients, no peanut butter anymore. So just to the oats, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of ground flaxseed. That will give you a lot of good fats, good fiber, keep your kids full. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of protein powder. I'm gonna just use vanilla protein powder. But to be honest, it could probably work good with any type of protein powder, like a chocolate one, because there's peanut butter here. It can kind of give you a chocolate peanut butter vibe, but I am just doing some vanilla. So a 1/4 cup of that. Pinch of sea salt. Now we're gonna mix up the dry ingredients. Now we're gonna add our wet ingredients. So now is where you add the peanut butter. Mine is a little bit chunk on it, but it should work just fine. And then you're gonna do 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey. I'm gonna just eyeball this. Let's mix this up. And add a little bit of vanilla extract. Peanut butter and vanilla just smells so good. Okay. Now we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of mini chocolate chips. Again, this is something we can just eyeball. For a little bit more fiber, let's add some shredded coconut. I'm gonna just start using my hands. And then to help bind it, I'm gonna add just a couple tablespoons, about 1 to 2 of water. That's kind of the consistency when you kind of squeeze it and it sticks together. just put those energy balls in the fridge, which is great. My husband just took the boys out for a little outing and they are gonna be stoked when they get back. So I wanted to have a little taste test. This is how the energy balls turned out. They smell so good. It has the peanut butter, chocolate, the honey makes it, ooh, there's our muffins. And I'll just say, the honey makes it really sweet. I think the boys will love these. Let's go ahead and get that out of the oven. Here's how the superhero muffins turned out. I love making these. Like I've already said, so nutritious. There's all that fiber from the coconut, has the good fat and protein from the walnuts. The grain, you're not gonna get a high spike in blood sugar. It's pretty leveled out. So love making this. This is a win. Let's go ahead and cool these off. All right, these superhero muffins look amazing. What little boy or girl wouldn't want to have something called a superhero muffin? Our boys love it. They get hyped up. Anything that they can be bigger, stronger, go faster, they're all about. So these are so good, packed with so much nutrition, flavor. Let's go ahead and give it a try. The best part is the apple. The apple gives it such a tartness and like a freshness. It's so good. And then the chewy raisins, so good. I would say I kind of like these better than the energy balls. These are a little sweeter. I feel like this is sweet, but it's like a perfect amount of sweetness. It's not overly sweet. So this is a great breakfast, a great snack, great anytime. You can kind of feel confident about that. Next, we're gonna make kind of like a homemade Larabar. And Larabars, they're like a date-based bar. This one's gonna be like an apple pie version. So let's go ahead and get our ingredients. All right, for this recipe, you're gonna need about 10 to 12 majuli dates. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those pitted now. I'm gonna pour hot boiling water on the dates just to soften them for about 10 minutes. I also remembered I need to soften these. The recipe calls for dried apples. I only have freeze-dried, so I'm gonna go ahead and add these to a little bit of this water. We'll see if that works, just to make it a little bit softer and not as crunchy. So the recipe calls for about a 1/4 cup of dried apples. Okay, to our food processor, I'm gonna add a cup of whole almonds. We'll add about a 1/4 cup of nutmeg. Would add about a 1/2 cup of, I'm sorry, not a 1/4 cup, a 1/4 teaspoon. And then you would add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We just don't have any. You'll need a pinch of salt. Now we're gonna add our dates and apples that we had soaking in some boiling water. We drained it, and let's go ahead and add it now. Turned out a lot better soaking them than they would have freeze-dried. So a little hack, if you only have freeze-dried apples, you can still use them, just go ahead and soak them. I feel like this pan is way too small for what we need here. Okay, this pan was a little bit smaller than what I needed, but I kind of made it work. Probably in the future, I would just double the recipe and it should fill perfectly. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the fridge for about 30 minutes, then I'll pull it out and cut it. Okay, let's have a little taste test of these Larabars. I just cut them. Actually, the apple is perfect. I thought it would be too crunchy since they're dried apples, but 10 out of 10, so yummy. And it does taste like an apple pie. It's so good. I think it would be better with cinnamon, but it's still really good. So recommend this one. right, that about wraps it up. Thanks for following me in my kitchen today as I prep some snacks for our 4 boys. I hope this video was an inspiration to you, that you were able to find some ideas for some healthy and nutritious and pretty easy snacks that you're able to make for your kids or yourself. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I hope you subscribe and join the family. All right, see you next time.